Yesterday, while driving my kids to the barbershop, I asked them, "Do you know who you are?" And they just looked at me. I said, "Do you really know who you are?" And my youngest son said, "I don't really know who I am." And then I said, "Let me stop you right there." So this is dedicated to my kids who are so thoughtful. And we had the most amazing conversation, but they're so freaking thoughtful. And we dive down this conversation of, self-discovery and getting behind the curtains of who we truly are beyond our name, beyond our skin color, religious affiliation, political affiliation, what we do for a living, our story, like getting beyond that and getting to like the core of things, right? And so it inspired me to make this video today, embracing your true self. And I think in order to embrace your true self, you have to know who you are. And when I say you, I mean the you behind all of the facade of your name, your political affiliation, religious affiliation, your skin color, and what you do for a living. Beyond that facade, who are you? What are you? And then from there, I think once you are clear that I'm not my name, I'm not my religion, I'm not my politics, I'm not what I do for a living, and I'm not my skin color. Once you really understand that, I think then you can start building a foundation on top of discovering who you. Now I can add, my religion or lack thereof to my persona consciously, though. I can decide which way I want to lean politically consciously, though, not because I was born a certain way, not because I was groomed to think a certain way, but literally based off of the foundation of knowing who I am at the deepest level of this human existence. And I think that requires a lot of self-observation. I think it requires a lot of deep questions that you're asking yourself about yourself. I know that's what happened for me. When I discovered who I truly am, it changed everything for me. It changed my relationships with other people. It changed the way I saw what I did for a living. It changed me politically. It changed me religiously. It changed the way that I saw myself entirely. And it also changed how I saw the world. And in the beginning, I had a hard time trying to communicate my new findings to the people that I cared about. And I started to realize that it was not about communicating my findings to the people that I care about, but that it was more so about me living and having the courage to live the information or the knowledge or the wisdom that I'd come across for myself. And the people that were meant to be a part of that version of me would naturally be there to be a participant on my journey, because my journey aligned in some kind of way with their journey. And the people that were not in alignment with my journey fell away. And that's what I'm here to let you know, is that once you really get to the core of who you are as an individual, the people that, if you decide to, consciously walk this path, the people that are meant to be a part of that path will stick with you on that path. And the people that are not supposed to be a part of that path, they will literally disappear. And is not smart, in my opinion, to demonize the people that are not a part of your path, because those people that are not a part of your path, they have their own path. It doesn't mean that because they're not following you on your path, that they are now going down a deep, dark rabbit hole. And that's one thing I had to bring to my awareness. And I do it regularly. I remind myself that just because a person is not in my life anymore, it doesn't mean that this person is on a wrong path. No, they're on a path that's right for them. They're doing what is best for them. They're living life in harmony, or maybe even disharmony, with the call of their own soul. And my job is to wake up every single day knowing who I am and embracing that version of myself every single day, showing up vibrant, not making myself small to appeal to anyone. And your job is to wake up knowing who you truly are every single day, not making yourself small, not shrinking yourself to appeal to anyone. You know, what would it look like if you really woke up every single day and you decided that you were going to live out the highest version of yourself for that day? And that's all we have to think about. When we embrace our true selves, we don't have to have our whole lives figured out. All we have to do is be willing to live out the highest version of ourselves in that day. And the next day, it might look different than it did the day before. And the day after that might look different than it did the day before that. But it's all about consciously reaching for this expanded version of ourselves and having the courage to show up and be that person. And I found that a lot of times it's easier to be the highest version of yourself when you are around new people, because the old people that met you at a certain level expect you to linger around that level that they met you at, whether they do so consciously or unconsciously, they do so. And a lot of times we get caught up in these roles that other people expect us to play. And it can be the most innocent thing. Whether it's, you met at a bar, and now every time you turn around when there's a game, these group of friends that you met at the bar expect you to go to the bar with them, which means you could probably never stop drinking as long as you have those group of friends. Because the one common thing that you have in common is the fact that you bonded at a bar while drinking beer. But the moment you no longer want to drink beer anymore is the moment that relationship is going to be met with a little bit of, or a lot of, adversity. But a lot of people are so afraid of disappointing those people that they have ties to, that they are willing to disappoint themselves in order to appeal to the group of people that they are afraid of offending. And this is what causes so many of us to sell our souls. And as long as we're selling our souls every single day, it's going to be harder for us to vibrate at the frequency that we need to vibrate at, that is in harmony with the highest version of ourselves. It's super important for us to become mindful of who we're hanging around. Not only who we're hanging around, but why am I in these places that I'm in? Why am I talking to the people that I'm talking to? Why am I spending time doing the thing that I'm spending time doing? If I'm really showing up as my true self, would my true self choose to do this one action? And I ask myself that every single day. Whether it's someone asking me out to dinner, whether it's someone that wants to get on a meeting with me, whether it's someone that wants me to be a part of this business idea that they have, I always ask myself, because I have an unconscious tendency to just say yes, because I like people, and naturally you want people to like you if you like them. But I have to stop myself when people ask me questions and I really, really think like, okay, do I really want to do that? Would my higher self really choose to do that? That's me embracing my true self. Would my true self really want to do that? Or am I doing this because I feel like I have to do it? This is a question that you can ask yourself on a consistent basis. Am I doing this because I want to do it, or am I doing it because I feel like I gotta do it? And some things we might have to do that we don't want to do. For instance, maybe I don't want to go to the gym, but I know I gotta go to the gym. Because if I don't go to the gym, I'm not gonna get the results that I want. I'm not saying that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about like social contracts. Like, you don't want to go to that family reunion, but you're going because, your whole family is expecting you to be there. You really don't want to go. Why am I doing that? Why am I going? Am I going because I want to go, or am I going because I want to make these people look at me in a certain way? That dinner, do I really want to go, or am I going because I want these people to look at me in a certain way? And on the flip side of that, sometimes you got to think. Now, I'll think down the rabbit hole. Sometimes I've made myself go to things that I really didn't want to go to, but I ended up having a good time and I was happy that I went. There's also that factor as well. But I think what happened is that because I convinced myself to go, I ended up shifting my vibration on the way there, putting myself in a better mood. And because I was in a better mood, I landed in a parallel universe that gave me the experience of that event being an event that I appreciated simply because I went there in a better mood anyway. Because I've also had the opposite happen where I've done things I didn't want to do, went to a place in a bad mood and had a bad time. But I often think if I shift my vibration, would I have had a good time or a better time? Because it's all about vibration at the end of the day. Like, it's all about vibration. So if it's all about vibration, it's not necessarily about what we're doing. It's about where we are vibrationally while we're doing the thing. Where are we vibrationally while we are participating in this thing? And if I can't make myself feel good about a situation before doing it, when it comes to social obligations, I'm not going to do it. I'm known for agreeing to do something for somebody, and then, the day of, I'm just like, hey man, I changed my mind. That's not in harmony with me right now. And people don't like that, because in this society, you're supposed to make up your mind and never change your mind about anything. I disagree. I feel like, I'll respect you more if you really admit to me that you wanted to do it yesterday, but now that the day has come, I'm just deciding, it's not a good time for me right now. Because I'd rather show up with good energy and do it because I really want to do it than to show up with bad energy and do it because I agreed to do it at a moment before this moment. Showing up and embracing myself as my true self. That's what it means to me. So ask yourself in any single moment, am I doing this out of obligation, or am I doing it because I really want this experience? Am I doing it because I really feel like it's in alignment with my own soul? And sometimes you might feel like it's not in alignment with your soul, but it might be in alignment with your soul. And the reason why I say that it might be in alignment with your soul, even when it doesn't feel like it's in alignment with your soul, is because what you think is your soul might in fact be the persona that you think is the real you, the name, the thing that you do for a living, your skin color, your political affiliation, your religious affiliation. You might think that's the real you. And that is the version of yourself that you've gotten accustomed to over the years. And now that this other thing has presented itself, which really could be in alignment with the call of your own soul or your true self, you could ignore it because you think this is you, but really this is you. And if you just shift your perspective to this version of yourself more often, you'll find that, hey, that thing that I thought I wasn't into, I'm really into it. And I didn't know I was into it because I was not into it because the persona that I was playing as wasn't into it, but I didn't even know the call of my own soul was really into it. See, that's why I say meditation is one of the greatest things you could do, because these insights are coming to me because I've sat and meditated with myself. I'll give you another prime example before I let you go. I went from 2015, I was a pescatarian, which means that the only meat that I ate was seafood. And I used to say, I'll never eat meat again. Newsflash, I ate meat again several times a few weeks ago. And that was because I started listening to my soul. And it's the same reason why I didn't eat meat. Because at that moment in my life, my soul didn't want any meat. It wanted only seafood and vegetables. Now my soul says, you want a little bit of meat, and I give it the pleasure of eating meat a little bit. So you gotta know, like, nothing is set in stone forever. You can change. Your soul, what your soul desires is gonna change over time. And you gotta be aware enough to listen to it, and most importantly, take action on that when you get those intuitive nudges. Speaking of intuitive nudges, you can go ahead and nudge this subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn the notifications on. And you can also do yourself a favor. If you want to go to the next level, come and see me at mindmastersociety.com. It's very affordable, and I don't even like to use that word. But some of you guys are spending the same price that I'm charging monthly for the membership. You're spending that on bull crap that's not even going to give you anything back. And I'm saying that if you join my community, I can help you get from where you are to where you want to be. It's Robbie Cornelius. Talk to you soon. Master your mind and spiritually align.